Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a slow flow movement. And what I want you to do is start in a seated position that's comfortable for you. Maybe you sit in an easy seat. Maybe you sit as Rebecca's sitting right now. And place your hands at your heart center, Anjali Mudra. We're going to keep a little space between the palms of the hand. Fingertips touching, heels of the hand are touching. And start to notice your breathing. See if you can breathe right into that space between your hands. And set an intention for the class today. An intention can be anything from a prayer to a goal that you're setting for this class. And then on the next inhale, raise your arms up towards the ceiling. Open your arms wide into a V and allow your intention to be off into the universe. No control over the outcome. And then bring your hands back down. And we're going to start in a lying in the back supine position. So if you want to roll over onto your back now. Put your arms and legs in a comfortable position. If that means putting a bolster underneath your knees, or if you need a little towel or something underneath the head, go ahead and do that. See if you can notice the contact of your feet with the mat. And make sure that the four corners of your feet are grounded. And then take your hands, one on top of your chest and one on top of the upper belly, and tune into the breath again. See if you can cause the breath, invite the breath into the lower hand first, and then into the upper hand. Notice the breath come in, and notice the breath go out. Notice if there's areas of tension, and see if you can release those areas. And the air goes in, and the air goes out. One more breath here. And then place your hands down by your side. And bringing some movement into the breath, we're going to inhale the arms up and exhale them down. Inhale them up and pause. And exhale them down. And pause. And one more time, inhale just a little bit more extension here with your arms. A little more purposeful exhale as you bring them down. Beautiful. And now we're going to bring some hip movement in, and we're going to continue to lift the arms as we lift up the hips. So inhale the arms up, lift up the hips to a nice, easy bridge, and then exhale them down. Good. 3 more times. Inhaling. And exhaling. Notice again what your feet are doing. Ground them down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Notice what your hips and knees are doing as you inhale up. And exhale down. Nice. Now bring your knees into your chest. Hug them close as you can. And let's make some circles to the right. It's nice and easy, just massaging into the lower back area. And then we'll go back to the other side, other direction. Nice and easy. And then with your knees still pulled into your chest, bring your arms overhead into a V or a goalpost or some type of position that's comfortable and easy for your shoulders. And then lower your knees over to the right side first. And if you need to, you can put a bolster underneath your knees to kind of check the movements. And bring your gaze over to the left if that's comfortable. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then inhale your knees back to center. And then we'll exhale, bring them over to the other side. And the gaze to the right. And we breathe in. And we breathe out. Inhale your knees back to center. Bring your arms down by your side. And pause for just a moment to notice what your body feels like. Starting with your feet, feeling the four corners of the feet as they ground down into the mat. Tracing up into the pelvic area as it's touching the mat. The upper back, the back of the head. Notice especially if there's any tension in your jaw, your tongue, and see if you can release that tension. And then traveling down the arms, just notice. And then bring your knees back into your chest. And with your knees here, we're going to rock back and forth a few times to come up to a sitting position. Now, if this isn't available for you today, just go ahead and get up to a sitting position the best way that you know how. So we're going to sit at the end of the mat, and we're going to cross the legs and come into easy seat. So take some time getting there. See if you can really spend a moment just trying to get the spine nice and long. Get the crown of the head, I like to say where the alfalfa hair is, kind of pulled up towards the ceiling. And open up some space here. Notice how the breath changes when you come into a seated position. Breath awareness is always present for us to use as a reminder of the present moment. So we're going to do some seated cat-cows here. So what I want you to do is lift your chin and pull your chest forward as you inhale. And then exhale, round the back, bring the chin to chest. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, round in the back. And take 3 more on your own, just working with the breath in and out. Make your breath your focal point. The breath moves the body. Good. And then rolling through your legs, we're going to come into an all fours position. And if this isn't comfortable for your knees, you can always put a blanket underneath the knees or underneath the calves to sort of float the knees. But what we want to remember here is that we're trying to get the joints stacked. So if you need to move your hands forward maybe a half an inch just to get the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders all stacked. Good. And then bring the knees forward just a little bit as well. So there's a little bit of an anterior tilt in the back here, because we normally have a normal anterior tilt. So let's practice finding that neutral spine position by doing some cat and cows in this position. So we're going to allow the belly to drop down, allow the tailbone to raise, lift the head up. Here's an inhale. And on the exhale, fold everything under, chin to chest. Good. And inhale, release that effort as you come back up. And exhale, chin to chest. And then a couple of more times, making the movements a little smaller each time until you come to that place where you're right in the center of the two extremes. Nice. So we're going to take your right leg now and slide it back behind you. Tuck the toes under and use the strength of your arms to push forward on the mat. This will bring your torso back towards the wall behind you, stretching into your heel cord. And so I want you to notice a few things here. Notice how your leg feels. Notice how the arch of your foot feels. Notice how the stretch feels along the entire right leg. See if you can notice that the right quadriceps is working pretty hard. That's the muscle in the front of the thigh. But notice also how the hands feel. Are they grounded into the earth? Are they pressing forward? Is the thumb and the forefinger particularly active here? And then how does that activity feel as it travels up the arm and into the shoulder blade? And finally, what does the breath do as you are focusing on all these other parts? And can you come back to the breath awareness? Come back to that gentle hum of activity that's always in the background. And then release that effort, come back to neutral spine. And we're just going to keep the leg straight, but lift it so that it's straight out from the hip. Really shooting a lot of energy through that right heel towards the wall behind you. Take another breath here. And then exhale, bring the knee down to join the left knee. And we're going to shift your hips from side to side. I like to call this a tail wag. Just kind of working on those muscles that have been working really hard as we did that. And notice what feels good. And then we'll take that same exercise onto the left side. So coming back to a neutral spine position. See if you can slide that left leg back, toes tuck under. Really pushing with your arms into that left heel cord. Tightening up the quadriceps in the front of the left thigh. Using the strength of your arms and keeping your hands really grounded into the earth. With a little bit more focus on the thumb and the forefinger. And then come back to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice how all that effort feels in your body. Traveling from the left foot all the way up to the crown of the head and from the hands all the way up through the shoulder blades. One more breath here. And then coming back forward, lift the legs straight up, really putting a lot of energy into that left heel, pushing back and the left toes flexing forward. Arms are strong. And breathe in and breathe out. One more breath here. And then lower the left knee down by the right. And we'll shift the hips side to side. Maybe you want to do a few little cat-cows here. See what feels good. Maybe even sitting back into a child's pose. So the next thing we'll do is come back into quadruped, all fours position. We're going to slide the right foot back again, leaving the toes curled under. But this time we're going to drop the right heel down towards the left side of the mat. And we're going to raise up that right arm. So this is a modified side plank. And if it's available, really pressing down with that left arm to lift up the right arm even more, like you're just reaching for the ceiling with as much energy as you have. And then we're going to take that right arm and we're going to bring it so that the top of the arm is close to the ear. We're reaching towards the wall in front of us. Stretching into the side body. And on the next inhale, the arm is going to come up towards the ceiling and the leg is going to raise up towards the ceiling. So we're going to inhale up and exhale, come back. Good. Now, if this isn't available to you, then just move the arm or the leg or stay where you are. So inhale up and exhale down. Good. And we'll go one more time. Reaching and lifting. Inhale up and exhale down. And then bringing the hand down towards the mat. Bring the knee down towards the mat. And we'll come back to our starting position. Again, making any movements. If your wrists are getting sore, just sit back on your heels. Maybe make some stretches, some circles. Just do what feels good. Taking care of yourself is why we come to the mat. And then take your left leg back. We'll do that same flow on the other side. So rolling down on the heel, lifting up the top arm. In this case, it'll be the left arm. Really pressing down with that right hand, making sure that everything is in contact with the right hand. And that right arm, super strong, lifts up the left arm. And then bringing the left arm towards the wall in front of you, kind of by your ear. And then inhale the arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale it down. And now inhale the arm and the leg up. And exhale it down. Good. 2 more times. Move with your breath. And down. One more time. And then circling your arm back down around, bringing your arm down by the right one, bringing the left knee back, and we'll sit back for a child's pose. In child's pose, there's lots of modifications that you can do, from putting blankets underneath your ankles to putting a block underneath your forehead. So take care of yourself. Child's pose is a restorative pose designed to help you come back to center and come back to the breath. So now from here, we're going to sit up onto our heels again, so kind of a low kneel. And then we're going to come into a high kneel. So raising up, bring your right foot forward, and we're coming into a low lunge. Now for this, you can use a resistance band if you like. Rebecca's going to demonstrate with a resistance band. And we're going to start with your arms up over your head. So as you exhale, you're going to twist your body to the right and pull your arms down to the side. So here's an inhale first, and then an exhale. And then an inhale, arms straight, come to center. And an exhale, twist to the left or the right. And then come back, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, we'll keep things even, and we'll come back to the left again. And then inhale. We're going to exhale to the right this time. And then we'll inhale towards the ceiling to neutral and exhale to the left. Good. And inhale back to center. And we're going to drop the band. So just lower it down. And we're going to place the left hand right inside the right foot. So left hand's going to go inside the right foot. And then we're going to raise the right arm up for a little bit of a twist. Beautiful. So notice that the left hand really can push down even harder. And the right arm can lift straight up towards the ceiling even more to make this experience a little richer. So breathing in, breathing out. Pausing here just to notice how your body feels. Take one more breath as you reach just a little bit higher. And then we're going to bring the right hand to join the left inside that right foot. And allow the right knee to come out to the side just a little bit if that feels comfortable, if that's available to the right. So it's going to stretch into the inner thigh just a little bit as you drop it out. And just go as far as it feels comfortable to you. And follow the breath here. And then bringing the knee back towards the arm, we're going to plant that right hand and lift the left arm up. Good. So getting just a little bit deeper. Notice how the right arm can press into that right knee, and the knee is going to press into the arm, so together they form this nice base of support. And the right hand is really pressing down with the whole hand and all the fingers. And that support in a downward direction helps to lift that left arm up even more. And then with all of that activity going on, there's always this background of the breath. Moving in and moving out. Good. Take one more breath here. And then we'll exhale. Left hand comes down. Right knee comes back. And we'll come back into a child's pose. So right knee comes back. There we go. Come back into the child's pose. And we come back to our breath. And the breath is always there, moving in and moving out. Helping us feel grounded, helping us feel centered. Creating a safe space for us to explore our bodies. And then we're going to come back into the low kneeling position and then into high kneeling. And then we'll do that same flow on the left side. So bringing the left leg forward. And we're going to grab our bands. And the arms are going to come up overhead. Good. So here's an inhale, and on the exhale, twist to the left and bring the arms down. And then inhale, come back to neutral, and exhale, twist to the right. Good. And inhale, twist to the left as you exhale. Inhale, twist to the right, and then one more time to each side. Beautiful. Now coming back to center, we'll bring our arms down and we'll let go of the band. And then we're going to place our right hand right inside the left foot, grounding it down. Use the resistance with the right hand to push down and go into a twist, lifting the left arm up. Again, we push down to lift up. So all that space between the effort is where we find the ease of the breath. Yoga is all about finding the space between the effort and the ease, where we're not just hanging out, but we're not compromising the breath by trying too hard. We just show up and find that neutral space. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, both hands come down inside the left foot. And we're going to allow that left knee to drop out to the side to a comfortable degree, just feeling a little bit more stretch into the inner thigh area. Notice the breath again. Nice and easy. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then we'll bring that left knee back to center and we'll press down with the left hand and lift up that right arm. Reaching. Remember that intention that you set at the beginning of class. Keep your eyes on the intention, turning your gaze up to the right hand to the degree that it's comfortable for your neck. And then exhale, bring the right hand back, down, both hands on either side of that left foot. Left knee comes back, and we sit back for our child's pose. Coming back to the awareness of the breath, that gentle rhythm, like the ocean waves, rolling in and rolling out. And then we're going to lift just the hips so they're balanced right over the knees for a little bit of a puppy pose. And from that position, see if you can roll forward and come onto your tummy, straightening out your legs behind, and position yourself on the mat so that you're comfortable. And from here, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows pulled together, shoulder blades pulled together, pressing down with your legs. You're going to inhale up into a cobra. It doesn't have to be your biggest cobra. And exhale down. Nice. See if you can make the curve happen through the whole spine. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then with the forehead resting comfortably, bring your arms into a gold pose position. And I'm going to have you lift up the upper body and the arms and the head as you come up on the inhale. So lifting up on the inhale and exhale, lower down. And then inhale again. And exhale, feeling that freedom of the wings moving as you inhale up. Just like a bird in flight. And exhale down. And we'll go one more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Lovely. So with the least amount of movement possible, roll onto your back. Knees will be bent, feet flat. Again, a time to sort of check in on your feet, on your shoulders, on your breath. And then a couple of more vigorous bridge movements here. So this time pressing down with the shoulder blades and the arms, really grounding down with the feet. We're going to inhale your hips up. And exhale, bring them down. And just making sure that you can feel all four corners of your feet. That's your anchor at that end. So inhale up. And exhale down. Noticing the efforting that's going on with your shoulder blades and your arms as they're helping the bridge. So inhale up. And exhale down. And then noticing that the back of the head is gently pressing down. The chin stays perpendicular to the earth. Inhale up. And exhale down. Nice. Knees come into the chest now. Stretch out the lower back. And then take your hands right underneath the thighs, right behind the knees, and lift both legs up towards the ceiling. So in this position, if you have a strap, you can use it. You don't necessarily have to. Rebecca's going to demonstrate here with a strap and how you would have that work. So the strap just allows your arms to relax just a little bit more doesn't have you work so hard to hold your legs up, and then you get a really nice stretch through the heel cords here. And then we're going to take the right leg out of the strap and bring it down. And we'll straighten it all the way down to get a little bit deeper into that left hamstring if that's available. And if it's not comfortable, then you can go ahead and leave your right leg bent. And then we'll bring the right leg back up to join the left. Say hello. And then lower the left leg down. Leg can be straight, leg can be bent. And then we'll bring the left leg back into the strap and hold the double hamstring stretch. Again, notice the breath. We're going to do a total body scan here, starting with the feet, the arches, the heel cords. Notice the stretch all the way through the backs of the legs. You can point and flex your feet here too. Helps with the blood flow, pumping the ankles. Notice all the way through the pelvic area, the lower back, the upper back, the position of the shoulders, position of the head. Notice any tension in your jaws, in your tongue, and then noticing the breath. So we'll take your right foot out now, place it down, and then go ahead and lower your left leg down and remove it from the strap. And so we're going to begin, we're going to end the way we began, but we're going to do one more rotational stretch to get just a little bit deeper into the twist. So bringing your knees back to your chest, we'll lower your legs down to the right side first. And here, if you like, you can take that right arm and put it on top of the left knee, and take the left arm as you reach it up more towards a Y position, or so you get a little bit more stretch through the upper body. And breathe in and breathe out. Be prepared to get rid of everything that you've been holding on to. This last final exhale is so important for the yoga practice. And then we'll bring the knees back to the center. Lower them over to the left side. Using the left arm for a little assist if that's available. Right arm lifts and the gaze towards the right. Closing the eyes if it makes it a richer experience for you. Our goal here is to notice sensation. What we are feeling is always here in the body, in the present moment, where we are safe, where we are supported, where we are secure. And then bringing the knees back to center. And if there's any pose that you would like to do before we go into Shavasana, go ahead and do it now. Otherwise, we're going to grab our bolsters. I'm going to put the bolster underneath the knees. If you don't have a bolster, you can certainly do this pose without a bolster. You could also use just a pillow off your bed. Arms are going to come down to like a inverted V with them open and the fingers spread in a very receptive mode. We've done the practice, and now we're here just to receive the benefits. So We have no attachments to what happened, no expectation for what's about to happen. We are just here in the present moment. When you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, and you certainly feel free to pause the video at any point, but to come out of Shavasana, do so gently. Start to make little movements with the fingers, little movements with the feet, the toes. Maybe you're rocking your head from side to side. And then when it seems right to your body, start to make larger movements. Maybe rolling the arms, maybe raising the arms up overhead like we did at the beginning of class. Maybe starting to bring one knee into the chest, whatever feels good to you. And if you had the bolster underneath your knees, you can just push it aside with your feet, whatever is easiest. And then bring your knees up again, rolling over onto your right side, and pause here for just a moment. This is the fetal position. After every yoga practice, it's like starting over, ready to begin again. And take a moment just to feel what you feel in your body. See if you can absorb that feeling into every cell, every cell. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And stay with that feeling. Stay with that sensation. And when you're ready, go ahead and use your top arm to gently push yourself up to a seated position. Easy seat. And keeping your eyes closed. Again, notice how you feel. And bringing your hands back to Anjali Mudra. We say Namaste.